All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call. I'm happy to report is everyone present tonight, so that's wonderful. Make mention of that. We have an agenda in front of us this evening. Mr. Mayak, are there any additions or corrections to the agenda?
Well, the agenda should be all set, ready to go.
Great. I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
I make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion made by Ms. Tyre, seconded by Ms. Erke to approve the agenda as presented. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Happy to have you join us this evening, Mr. Mayak. We will start with you and your report.
And I will turn it over to our admin team. Dr. Meyer is out today. She was ill, unless she's standing there.
Shh.
But so I guess the order would be according to the slideshow.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
And secondary, Mr. Bird, welcome.
Well, thank you. Right now, we're kind of in a lull in between fall seasons, winter seasons. We finished up first quarter, started second quarter, and actually we're starting to take a look at registration and what we're going to offer, what classes we can offer, some numbers, things of that. And then we're also having discussions about our daily schedule. Is what we have right now what is best, and if not, what can we do to make it better? There's some things out there that we need to come up with a time to be able to have interventions according to READ Act. I think there's a time we can get those interjected into a schedule. So our schedule next year may look just a little bit different than our 7-period day we have right now. Either beginning or end, probably 4 days a week, so we can use that time to help kids, use it for some social emotional learning, use it for homework, use it for makeup tests, use it for many different things. But we are in the infancy discussion of that to see what we can do better there. Like I said, the winter activities are beginning. Mid-quarter, it will be December 5th before I see you again, and there's also a holiday concert in the high school on December 8th. Questions? All right.
Thank you. And wasn't following along. Who's the lucky next? And Ms. Meyer is
Macy.
out.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Oh, she's like.
Easy. Oh. She was trying to hide us.
My fault.
Oh, you're just fine. Welcome, Easy.
Don't pick on her or I'll say bad things.
Yeah. We have a very large respect for you, Ms. Bentley. I hope you're having a great day.
All right, community ed. We have a lot of fun stuff coming up here pretty soon. We have our preschool concerts on Tuesday and Thursday, December 2nd and 4th. That's in the evenings. We always get a fantastic turnout for those. Preschoolers have been practicing really hard for our concerts. Our last session of ECFE for this fall is tomorrow evening. Otherwise, youth enrichment, we have after school Lego club, art club still going on. School age care, we have partnered with Waseca County 4-H. They are going to start coming in once a month beginning in December for probably about an hour and a half, 2 hour activity with the kids after school. Right now, it's just because it's just Waseca County, we're only going to be doing it in Richland. So after we probably get 1 or 2 months under our belt for that, I'm going to contact whoever I need to see if we can set up the same thing with Steele County for 4-H over in this building. Otherwise, youth recreation, we had the youth basketball tournament on Saturday at the secondary school. It went very well. Lots of teams, lots of people participated in it. Looks like the kids had a lot of fun. Youth dance program, we have a recital coming up on December 6th in the morning in this building as well. We've got pickup basketball going strong, men's volleyball open gym. We have that Wednesday nights. Otherwise, Power Hour is our fitness program with Emily Schultz. We have walkers starting to come into the building now because it's getting cool outside. And then Cookies with Santa is also coming up on November 29th, so that Thanksgiving Saturday. That's what we have coming up so far. Any questions about anything? All right, awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And now Ms. Peterson, please. Thanks for joining us.
Will you click on the results one? You don't have a mouse, you have to do that. You had request, see if it comes up.
I looked at it earlier, now it's.
Yeah.
It's on the agenda letter.
Share.
I know.
Oh, we're gonna do the next one, you're trying it. Okay. So these are last year's goals that were set by Mr. Tupence and the admin team. And so I am just reporting on the data that I collected and the results from that. So there are 5 goal areas, and each one of those goal areas has individual specific school goals, and I'll go over all of those individually. So the first goal area is all children are ready for school. There are 2 sub-goals in this one. The first one says by September of '24 and continuing annually after, 80% of NRHEG kindergartners will have attended a preschool. So what I did is I looked at the kindergartners, and if they had attended any preschool whatsoever, we counted that as part of the percentage. So out of the 51 kindergartners, 44 attended some kind of a preschool for 86%. So that is above 80, that was a goal met. The second one was that there is going to be an increase in the number of students within our district boundaries that are attending NRHEG preschool as compared to the previous year. So 2 years ago, it would have had 61 kindergartners, so a little bit larger group of kiddos. 70% of those attended NRHEG preschool programming. Last year in 2024, we had 51 kindergartners and 39 of them attended NRHEG ones for 76%. So we did increase our locally ran programming by 6%, so that is also a goal met. 2, preparing students to be lifelong learners. The goal was 50% of our pre-K all the way through 12th grade students will enroll in an extracurricular activity longer than 1 week. So the breakdown was at the elementary, we had 55% of our students that participated, and at the secondary level, 67. So for a total of 61% of our students, that is a goal met.
Manta,
Yeah.
is the majority of that sports?
At the high school level, I'd say maybe 2/3. You got to think about yearbook, you know, student council, one act plays, all of the different clubs that are available to kiddos. All of that I put into account, and we
Good.
just tally. Yep. Knowledge bowl. Like it's not a sport, but that's definitely a piece of the puzzle. FFA is part of that. It's a big program. The third goal is that all racial and economic achievement gaps between students are closed. The goal was that the gap between free and reduced and special ed students and the non-free and reduced and non-special ed students would be reduced at a rate equal to or greater than the state average measured by MCA math and reading. So these numbers are a little bit trickier to read. The top line is NRHEG, the bottom is the state. So 2 years ago, there was a non-free and reduced points free and reduced points for a gap of 10.4 points. That's the gap in between the production gap. Last year, we only had a 7.6 point gap between the between the two areas, so we did decrease our number by 2.8. The state only decreased their number by 0.3, so we did reduce more than they did, so that's a goal met. But there's 4 areas. For free and reduced, non-free and reduced math, 2 years ago, the gap was 22 points between those 2 areas. Last year, it was 15 points between those 2 areas. We did reduce our gap by 6.8 points. The state only reduced theirs by 0.9, so we definitely surpassed them, so that was another area that was met. And then we have the special education population. So the non-special education population 2 years ago was at this number. The special education population was at this number for a gap of about 28.3 points. Last year that gap did decrease by 0.8. Okay, so it's still a large gap, but we did decrease a little bit. The state decreased by 0.7. We decreased 1/10 more than them, so that's still performing better than the state. So that's a met. If you look at the math for sped and non-sped students, 2 years ago the gap was 29.9 points between those areas. It went down to 29.2 for, we did shrink our gap by 0.7, but the state shrunk their gap by 1.0. So we did not shrink our gap greater than the state did. So that one's not met. So overall, I have to count this one as not met because one of those areas did not meet the criteria. The 4th is that all students are ready for career college by June of 25. 100% of 12th grade students will create their personal plan and major clarity career and college readiness platform. And when speaking with Liz, she said that they all had an account created, but not all of them were good at updating it and keeping it up to date. So that one's a non-met. And the 5th one has 3 different bullet points, and that's that all students graduate from high school. This one is tricky because 2025 data is not on the MDE report card yet. So I looked at it a little bit more historically and kind of called it a multi-year goal. And so 2 years ago, the 4-year graduation rate, so it looks at like 2020 students. Did they graduate 2020 9th graders? How many of those 9th graders graduated in a perfect 4 years? And our percentage was 84.8%. 2021 9th graders, if they graduated in that perfect 4 years, we're at 95%. So that was a big increase from 2020 to 2021. This one is an on track. If it's a multi-year, it's either on track or not on track. The next one is the 7-year graduation rate. This is from 2017 9th graders and 2018 9th graders. So if you look at this would be the 2017 9th graders. And if they didn't graduate in a perfect 4 years, did they take a little bit longer than 4 years to graduate? That would be that 94%. And that one went down to 88. And if they were 2017 9th graders and 2018 9th graders, you gotta remember that COVID was in there too. So that's a big part of it, because that would have been 10th graders maybe when COVID hit. So that graduation rate, but that one did not, was not on track. And the 3rd piece of this one was that there will be an increase in the percentage of NRHEG students that have been enrolled for all of 9, 10, 11, and 12 as compared to prior years. So I looked at 2024 graduates and tried to figure out how many of those graduates have been with us in person all 4 years. So out of those 67 graduates in 24, 56 we had all the way from 9th grade in person through. So that's 83.5%. Last year's graduates, there were 63 graduates. 51 of them we had had in person for all 4 of those years. That is a decrease in our percentage, so that was a not met. So then I put it on a little spreadsheet so you can see all of those individual goal areas. We have 4 goals that were met or are on track, and 4 that were not met or not on track. Do you have questions on the results? Mr. Meinhoff, do these need to be voted to be accepted so that I can submit the report or not?
Yeah, we have that as an action item
Okay.
later on in the agenda.
Sounds good. Will you
Okay.
close that one out and open the next one then? And you might need to ask for access for the next one too. And share. New goals for this school year. The 5 areas have not changed. So those 5 areas are staying consistent, which is nice. All children ready for school. We still have the overall preschool programming and the locally ran programming. So our goal is that 80% of our kindergarten students will have some kind of preschool programming before they come to us. The second part of that is we want 70% of our students or higher to be at a locally ran NRHEG preschool program. Second goal area, that preparing students to lifelong learners, we kept that exact same one from before, that we really want to encourage at least 50% or more of our students to be in an extracurricular activity outside of the school day. 3, instead of saying reduced at the rate equal or greater to, we left it that the score gap between the free and reduced and special education and the non-free and reduced special education will be less than the state score gap as measured by the MCA math and reading scores. We want our students to perform higher than the state. The 4th one, career in college, we did leave that goal the same, and we will make sure that we put into place a few different checkpoints for those seniors so that they can report what some of their goals are, whether they're going into a career or college, so we can help them navigate that system a little bit better as seniors. So that one does not change. And the 5th one, we were tracking those 9th graders, the ones that we had control over, the ones that we see in person and have access to on a daily basis. We want those kids that we know are 9th graders that stay with us all 4 years to say that if we have them all 4 years, we want 95% or better of those students to graduate.
I think we've talked about that in the past, just to interject here too, that 4-year and that 7-year rate, if they start with us, that's a very goofy calculation. And if they start with us in 9th grade and then leave at any point, they are included in our graduation rate. And so this one in particular, we want to be in control of the goal. And again, if they leave us, we have no control of that student. So we felt this one gave us more control of those students, or at least control of the outcome of those students. And 95% would be basically 2 students that would not. So we felt pretty good that we would be able to obtain that. We're shooting for 100% obviously, but 95% is a high rate. And you think that's pretty obtainable.
Those are the 5 goal areas.
I had a question, you know, when Grant was talking about maybe looking at the possibility of changing schedules and things like that for interventions, are those some of the action steps that you guys have brainstormed about to help bring these goals to?
That could be like the free and reduced
special education population that maybe aren't, well, special education population is getting service, but there's a lot of free and reduced students who are not getting that extra scoop of help once they go from elementary to secondary, and maybe that's a way that that can get built into the programming.
And then, say for instance, for the preschool and having more kids come to our school, what steps do they have in place to possibly bring that
To
goal?
recruit kiddos
Yeah,
into preschool programming.
or whatever.
Macy sends out registration.
Yep, we send out registration information and it's in our book, short of going and, direct calling students and direct calling families, you know, trying to catch them at different events that we have. We haven't done a whole lot of that yet. There's always gonna be some kiddos that just, you know, their parents or families just don't want them in preschool at that age. But there are some things that we haven't done yet that we can, you know, definitely, put into our recruitment, I guess, not policies, but, just how we recruit kids and see if we can't get a few more, scholarships, you know, letting families know that we offer scholarships, that would be a big one too.
Thanks.
Any other questions on those
I
sides?
have a question about the free and reduced population, that now that the lunch program has changed in the state, do we feel we have an accurate number of what that actually is in our district, as far as how do you, is there any incentive for
Signing up.
people to come forward and really sign up? I always worry that so much of our decision-making is referred to as free and reduced, and I always question the accuracy of that number. And again, this is out of your control, I'm not saying, but do you have a comfort level on that, or maybe that's a question for someone else? Everybody point at everyone else, maybe there is no answer.
No, I think that's a good point.
They still fill out
Obviously, we still have a free and reduced number, and the vast majority of that number is determined by the direct certification that
Okay.
the families or students that are receiving services from the county are automatically
Okay,
receiving free and reduced lunch. We still have our education benefits form that we ask families to fill out, but that's, to your point, even harder to collect from families.
See, some of my income too, though.
But on this report, as it always has been, they're looking for that diversity, and those are really our biggest diversity points that we have is our special ed and our free and reduced lunch students. So we're still kind of, you know, forced would be the word to use those two gauges is the best or the largest group of students that we have that are diverse of one another. If that makes sense.
yeah, it's an answer.
Are we allowed to even send out, and we can give them the paper forms yet? I mean. we can
Yeah.
still
Some
do that
JMC
thing back
and
then?
Sarah, Sarah
Yep,
sits at
yep.
a table at both buildings, yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Yep, and it's on the website after July 1st.
yeah.
But there's no incentive for family, like,
That's,
I don't get it, like, a benefit for filling it out, but the school might,
Yeah, that's right.
yeah.
Like
Right.
telling everyone to fill it out, that it helps us as a district.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, that's what, you know.
Well, the families do benefit actually if we, the summer lunch program is based on the number of, is it 50%, I believe we have to qualify? Once we qualify, then we're in like a 5-year window. We're going on year 4 of that. And if they would look at our numbers now, we won't qualify for the free lunch, our summer lunch program if the numbers remain where they are. And in part, that's because we're not receiving the paper education benefits forms. The summer, what's it called, the Sun Bucks, the summer EBT program, is also the direct certs receive that, what is it, $120 per student for reimbursement or the card, that if the families fill and qualify out the ED's benefit paperwork, they would qualify for that summer program besides the summer lunch program. So there are a couple things that way, but for the most part, it is a program that the school district benefits from rather than the families benefit from.
Do the parents know that when they fill that form out?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
advertised
I think so.
loud and clear, but it doesn't necessarily connect the dots. Families or people don't connect the dots on that.
Yeah, 'cause that's extra funding too.
As we get, I think we have to, we do make that loud and clear, but especially with the summer lunch program, that's gonna be a biggie if that one does go away. There's a lot of kids that come in and get those meals.
We can question the whole logic behind the free and reduced lunches, but we're not in this boat alone, every school district.
Oh, yeah.
Correct.
So
Sure.
that's some, in my mind, that's somewhat of an equalization factor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everyone has the same thing, yeah.
good point.
All right, thank you again.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Sandra.
Mandra.
All right, and are we,
I got three things I'll report on the end of the administration or superintendent's report. We continue to talk with Southwest Metro, and we did learn after our buildings and grounds meeting that JWP is looking at moving out of Southwest Metro and joining up with another ed collaboration out of St. Peter. And so Dr. Horton is working on some financial packages, what that would look like, and how that would impact the three remaining districts, ourselves, WEM, and Waseca. And so, talking with Dr. Horton, we probably have to get together here in early January, before our January board meeting, to decide if we want to remain associate members and we want to make a commitment then to the Morristown building purchase. So what I'm proposing to the board is have Dr. Horton join our January organizational meeting and include the conversation about Southwest Metro and the Morristown facility and all the different questions that go along with that levy, if you're okay with that. That's scheduled on Monday, January 5th. So that's typically a very short meeting, half hour, and we'd probably extend that by half hour or more if that works with everyone's schedule.
Is that 5:30 or 6?
we usually start that one at 5:30 also, is that correct, Mr. Meyer?
Yeah, it's right here.
Yeah, that seems right.
Is he bringing prime rib?
Yeah.
Okay.
Prime rib for dinner?
Right.
Thank you, Mary.
You think you're asking, yeah?
Up for that.
I
No,
was,
that
I was
was an
asking.
offer, or that was a question.
I was asking if you were providing that.
Must be that connection, it sounded like an offer.
Very bad.
I also wanted to mention here at the public forum, the public meeting, just to, I handed in the newsletter that the administrative team did put out a survey for our staff just on what's taking place as far as student mental health and what's being done with mental health as far as lessons being taught, conversations being had within the classroom, within the co-curricular, extracurricular, any type of contact or connections that we have with students. We got those results back and we put together a brief and then kind of the recommendations that the administrative team would move forward with. And that's kind of our our action plan and looking at implementing the different recommendations that we have. And probably I would say the number one recommendation that we have would be just to continue to look at different professional development opportunities or staff development opportunities for our staff to be more comfortable, more aware, more knowledgeable on mental health issues, recognizing signs and warnings, dealing with student mental health issues. And so Dr. Meyer and Mr. Berg are working on different things with our student support team. Mr. Berg Grant has lined up a public speaker to come for a student assembly. I think he has that scheduled, or I know he has that scheduled for the spring in April to come in and speak with our students. So, so you're aware, if you have seen the newsletter and saw that information, and I guess just again to have that announced here at our board meeting as well. And then the last thing here on my report, and it pertains to our agenda item number 7, as we look at some future dates here. We do have our December meeting scheduled for New Richland. We have our Truth and Taxation meeting at 6, then our regular meeting at 6:30 in New Richland. And that is the same night that our elementary Christmas concert is taking place in Ellendale. So I propose changing the location of our December meeting, moving it to Ellendale, so that way we can just be around and be present. I think the concert does start at 6 o'clock, the same time as our Truth and Taxation meeting starts. But if we get here early, we can greet parents and grandparents as they're coming in. We can start our meeting, and then once our regular board session is over, then we could, anyone that's interested and willing and able, could pop in and catch the last part of the Christmas concert. So if we have to make a public announcement on that, or make it a change
Mike,
to that information that you have coming up here,
I hate
if
to,
you're interested in doing that, I'd make that proposal here for consideration.
I think, with a little help from Carla here, I think with that Truth and Taxation being advertised as being at the Richland secondary site,
Yeah,
I think we are legally bound
are
to,
we?
I believe that is accurate. Yes, I appreciate your efforts to,
Those business people are that stingy and that
I think-
consequential, huh?
I think when, no, I don't want to blame that on Carla. I think that is probably,
No, not Carla. but
I'll take that one for
I
Carla,
don't
but
blame Carla
I
either.
appreciate her pointing out the fact that I do believe that is, I think it's on the tax statements
Yeah,
that
it's on the tax statement.
Oh, that's the tax statement.
the tax state, right, and said, come to Richland if you have a problem with this, and that would be a very big conflict if,
No, that's a
if,
good point.
so, as much as we'd like to participate, and if there are people interested in being at this concert, we apologize for that, to make the right choice on what you need to do that evening, but
No,
the Truth and
yeah, that's a
Taxation,
good point. I didn't think of that tax statement
No.
and how that was advertised either,
so I appreciate
Yeah.
that thought behind it, but
No,
I think
no,
out
good
of,
point. Thank you for that, Bill.
legalities, we will remain in Richland for next month.
I think it worked last year that it happened like
It,
that.
it maybe did.
It
Yeah.
did, I think so.
It felt like we've done it, and I think.
Sure, that concert has worked before, I know.
Yeah, I
And
think,
maybe
yeah,
that was
we've done
even
it.
spring, maybe not the winter
might have
concert,
been
but
spring.
regardless,
Maybe it was
we've been
spring.
around in Ellendale for a
I just
concert
remember
night.
being here for one of mine.
Could be. So,
Yeah, all right.
yeah,
Thank you.
appreciate that though. Thank you.
Yeah, for the, yeah.
Thank you. All right, so just so we're clear and the record is straight, next month's meeting will be on, in Richland as stated, and the Truth and Taxation will be at 6 p.m. So, thank you everyone for your report there and the administrative reports. Are there any board member comments this evening?
First off, I would like to thank Macy for her awesome community activity for Halloween. Like you always I was able to stop up there for a couple minutes briefly, but it was amazing and the community seemed to be having a really great time. So I just want to thank you again for hosting that. Hi. Thank you again for hosting that. It's a big deal to the community. And so I also want to congratulate the parliamentary team for FFA for taking first place. I hear they rocked it. I'm so proud of them. So I wanted to bring that up.
Great. Anyone else? I would just like to give a shout out to our entire staff in light of the recent tragedy within the school district of losing a student. Some of the things I noticed with staff going up and above really was impressive, and I think I speak for the entire board of how that was handled. And Mr. Berg, I saw greeting students off the school bus, paras. I mean, the school came together as a community, and it didn't go unnoticed, I think. So it was very impressive of how that was all handled. So thank you again on behalf of the school board for all you did. No one can be prepared for that, and I thought you did a fantastic job. So thank you. Anything else? We kind of covered number 7 here, but the Truth in Taxation meeting will be Monday, December 15th at the Secondary School Media Center at 6 p.m. The next regular board meeting will follow that at 6:30 p.m. And then that organizational meeting we touched on briefly about January 5th there at 5:30 p.m. So takes us to the consent agenda. And Mr. Mayak, would you introduce that, please?
Yeah, our normal disclaimer for our consent agenda is that the board has been provided with background material for each item, or we have previously discussed it. These items will be acted upon with one vote without discussion. If a board member wishes to discuss any of these items, we will remove it from the consent agenda and vote on it separately. But before we get to that agenda, we'll recognize the donations from this month. We've had a $30 donation from Lavoy Ebnit for REACH, the thank you notes. The Ellendale Community Action Group made a $4,080 donation for our color run. The Waseca County Corn and Soybean Growers made a $500 donation for the National FFA Convention. NRHEG PTO had a $497.33 donation for Gopher Middle School Recess. NRHEG Track Boosters had a $3,305 donation for the high jump pit covers. NRHEG Basketball Boosters had a $1,239.06 donation for new basketballs. That brings our donations up to $9,651.39 for a total year-to-date of $52,251.10 of donations to our school district. And with that information, I'd ask for your approval on the consent agenda.
I'll move to approve the consent agenda items as presented.
Second.
Motion made by Ms. De La Cruz, second by Ms. Tired to approve the consent agenda as presented. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We have the results of the 24-25 Comprehensive Achievement and Civic Readiness Goals. Or am I, but that was back in the report section, right? We've gone over them. So we'll move.
Correct, I didn't put those into the action items, I just put them.
Oh, okay, was that back to the approving them? Is that where you'd like to approve them, what we've already
Yes,
been
yep,
reporting?
that was based on
I apologize for that.
presentation during your other
Okay.
part there, and again, that's just
Yep.
a yearly requirement.
Sure.
Andrew will submit those to MDE, and as you saw in that report, that many of them were met, some of them were very close to being met, and we need to have the board action that the goals were presented to you.
Sure.
In order to submit that to the state.
Appreciate that. No, It's actually, well, yeah, it isn't on the,
It's not on there.
so let's start with the 24-25 comprehensive achievement and civic readiness goals. Yes, I'll entertain a motion to approve those as presented, please.
I'll move to approve the 24-25 comprehensive achievement and civic readiness goals as presented.
Second.
Is that you? You?
Yeah.
All right, motion made by Mr. Schoenrock, seconded by Ms. Erke to approve the results of the 24-25 comprehensive achievement and civic readiness goals. Are there any further questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And then moving on to the goals set for 25-26, the comprehensive achievement and civic readiness goals.
I'll move to approve the 25-26 comprehensive achievement and civic readiness goals.
Second?
Motion made by Ms. De La Cruz, seconded by Ms. Tyre to approve the comprehensive achievement and civic readiness goals as presented. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We have a extended field trip before us this evening for the 10th through 12th grade Spanish Costa Rica trip. I don't believe Ms. Olson was able to join us this evening, but Mr. Mayak, do you have some information or anything on that?
Yeah, just the same Costa Rica trip that she has been running for a number of years. The paperwork has been submitted. She submitted that on time. I don't have that with me in front of me. Mr. Burr, I don't know if you had that with you.
It's linked.
With,
Yeah.
It's linked.
she'll be conducting some fundraising. The part that I was looking for was just basically the cost that Jody has been doing it the same way, I believe, since she started that. She does have the requirements for the chaperones in place. As a chaperone on the last trip, the chaperones are expected to contribute financially. We do pay for a portion, or we do pay for the trip, or a portion of the trip ourselves. The cost for the students is not increased, so the chaperones can go for free. So it's a trip that's well worth the experience, and it's a once in a lifetime opportunity for the students to have that opportunity. For the most part, on all the trips that I've been, they've all been personal vacation type things, and we just do what we want and when we want. Being on a trip of this sort, where there was a schedule that was up early and gone late, we were wondering how that would be. Quite a bit of a change compared to our personal trips, and it was fantastic. To cram everything that you cram into those 10 days was well worth every moment, and the opportunity to see all the different things and experience all the different culture and food and sights. It's well worth it. So I would definitely give my thumbs up and approval and ask for your approval as a board, and I'll let Grant add anything that he would like to add to that.
No, I think you hit everything there, plus you were on the trip once before, so you can speak to exactly that.
Yeah.
Grant, is it fair to ask, do you have any projection of how many students you project participating, or again, I know it's tough without.
There was, what did you have that went last time, Mike?
I believe there was 42 total.
Okay.
Yeah, so upper 30s, low 40s.
And if I am understanding this right, it's every, 3-4 year,
Every other year. I
Every
think
other,
she went, with COVID
Okay.
and then
sure,
some of the issues that were had the last trip, and all the weather issues and the layover in Miami that
yeah,
extended
okay,
it.
now I'm remembering it.
I think there was a 3-year delay in that trip, but
Okay,
I thought the plan was every other year, every 2 years.
okay, thank you.
Is there a maximum number of students that can participate in the group? Is there a cap on it, or it's open to anybody and whatever signs up, as long as the chaperones are met, we're good to go? Okay, good.
I believe there's a magical number, once you get into that low 40s, including the chaperones, then you can be big enough where you don't have to combine with another school district.
Okay.
If we would have stayed in that mid-30s or low 30s, then we could have potentially joined up with another group. And so it's always obviously nice to just kind of be with ourselves. So, no, I think once you get to that, there would be a cap on it, but I suppose if you get into that 50s or 60s, then the same thing could happen where you could still join up with another group. And if you're gonna have the need for 2 buses and one of them's half full, then they might partner you up with someone. So I wouldn't say there's a cap, but they always do look at maximizing buses and tours and everything else like that.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Otherwise, I would entertain a motion to approve that extended field trip.
Make a motion to approve the extended field trip to Costa Rica for the 10th through 12th grade Spanish students as presented.
Second.
Motion made by Ms. Erke, seconded by Ms. Tired to approve the extended field trip for 10th through 12th grade Spanish Costa Rica, or Spanish students. Any further questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We have before us a resolution declaring surplus property and authorizing the sale by sealed bid. Mr. Mayak, please.
Yeah, this is the sale of the garage from our purchase of the Broadway property, and this is just to safeguard ourselves and make sure that we're doing everything properly, that it is property, and we don't have a use for that garage now that we own it, and so it's given me the authority as superintendent to sell it via sealed bids.
There be a motion to approve that, please.
I'll move the resolution declaring surplus property and authorizing sale by sealed bids.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Schoenrock, seconded by Ms. Erke to approve the resolution declaring surplus property and authorizing sale by sealed bid. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We have the first reading of policy 902B, public use of outdoor school facilities. Mr. Mayak, please.
We do have a policy 902, which is dealing with the district, their school facilities, and when the school or the board policy committee met, I introduced the idea of including the outdoor school facilities, which would obviously include any of the playground equipment, the ball fields, anything like that. If we had a group of probably more than likely a local group that wanted to come in and use our outdoor equipment, again, think of the playground set or the football field, that we would have some sort of safeguard in place that would say, obviously, since it is taxpayer property, that the community has a right to use that equipment in those areas, but this policy is put into place that says during the school day, obviously, the school and our programs have first right at that equipment, and anyone else using it during the school day can be using it and disrupting the normal flow of the school day, and that we would have first rights to that, and we would have certain expectations that they're not destroying anything or using motorized carts or vehicles on the school grounds.
Under number 3, restrictions, letter A, The second word should be use and not us. Sorry. Just a little grammar correction.
Sarah, if you would make a note of that, then we could make that change.
I think it's a great idea to have that area covered also. It's always great to be able to refer back to the policy, so be prepared
Yeah,
for.
something simple that we don't really think
Right.
about, but
Right.
let's have it in place.
Thank you to everyone involved in getting that done, so.
So again, the process for a policy like this is, will be the first reading. This gives you a month to look it over. It gives the public a month to understand that this provision or this change is out there. And then at our December meeting, we would add this back as reading 2, and this is then when it would become the official policy, so.
Perfect. All right, no action really needed on that then? Or approve
I
the
think-
first reading?
I think we would
Okay.
approve the first reading of
Fair
it,
enough.
that it's
All right,
been brought to the board, you've acknowledged it, and we're gonna move forward with the policy addition.
okay. Would entertain a motion to do that then.
Motion to approve the first reading of policy 902B, public use of outdoor school facilities.
Second.
Motion made by Ms. Erke, seconded by Ms. Tyre to approve the first reading of policy 902B, public use of outdoor school facilities. Any further questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Last month, we had a pretty detailed conversation about our 25 board audit. This month, we are asked to approve it. Do we have any additional information on that or corrections to it? No?
No, I think everything was just finalized, the papers or whatnot that was holding up the process have been completed or came in, and no numbers have been changed. Everything remains the same as presented last month.
Carla, would you like to add anything?
Yeah, what he said is correct, but it's still missing this single audit piece. So what happened was, they were ready to have it approved in October.
Okay.
But as they waited and the government was going through what they did, they said, well, we're gonna present a draft, hopefully by November we'll be completely wrapped. A couple weeks ago then, before the government had opened up again, they said, well, we can't keep holding it, we have to wrap at least this portion up, as they awaited guidance on the federal portion. So we have to go through what's called a single audit because we received over $750,000 in federal money last year. That threshold's going up to $1 million now, but if your fiscal year ran the way ours did, it was still $750,000. And, we thought we would be done with that because the CARES money, all the COVID, all that dropped off. But thankfully, Macy and Angie here went out and found that security grant that was close to $200,000. So with that, then we still go through what's called a single audit. So that piece is yet to come. Hopefully now they're getting what they need to know, but that deadline was extended. But so this is just the regular audit portion you are approving.
Do we vote then later to approve the single?
Correct.
Okay.
In a separate, never before seen move. But that is what we will do. Good question.
Great. Everyone understand that? So we would entertain a motion to approve the 25 board approved audit as presented last month, actually.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Ms. Erke, seconded by Mr. Schoenrock to approve the fiscal year 25 board approved audit. Any further questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And lastly, we have a resolution to combine polling places. Sarah, I don't mean to put you on the spot. Is this for next year's election, I suppose? Is
Yeah,
that
this
what?
is something that is supposed to be done annually,
Sure.
whether you're having an election
Or not? Okay, great. Appreciate you bringing that before us, and Mike and I discussed that a little bit. We were unsure of how that worked, but it is an annual
Yes.
requirement. Great.
Rick, you're doing it for next year, so
Right.
it's possible by next year there will be something going on. So it just said, because I asked Sue
Yeah.
last year, now if there's not
Right.
an election, do we have to do this? And yeah, it's an annual state statute thing,
Yeah,
so that's good, we all wondered.
appreciate it. Yep. And next year there will be something going on. There will be an election. Yeah. So, anyway, okay. Anyone care to make that motion?
Make a motion to approve the resolution to combine polling places as presented.
Second.
Motion made by Ms. Erke, seconded by Ms. Tyre to approve the resolution to combine polling places. Any further questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. That concludes our business for the evening. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Annoying
Motion made by Mr. Schoenrock, seconded by Ms. Erke to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We are adjourned.